Two candidates, Otieno Omondi Glen from St. Peter's Mumias Boys Primary School and Fwaro Makokha Robinson from Christ the King Primary School in Bungoma, are the best candidates in the 2022 Kenya Certificate of Primary Education KCPE after registering 431 marks out of a possible 500 marks. Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu, while announcing the results on Wednesday, said the marks are a significant improvement from those of the 2021 KCPE's top student who garnered 428 marks. And as Alice Diana now reports, the CS committed to ensure a 100% transition from primary to secondary schools.
Less than 3 weeks after the completion of the 2022 KCPE exams, over 1 million candidates who sat for the examinations now have their fate at hand.
And infrastructural development.
Otieno Omondi Glen from St. Peter's Mumias Boys Primary and Fwaro Makokha Robinson from the Christ the King Primary School in Bungoma, who tied at position 1 after garnering 431 marks in the 2022 KCPE, topped 1,244,188 other candidates who sat the examination. Releasing the results Wednesday morning, the new Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu said the overall performance of Class 2022 was above board, with female candidates performing better than their male counterparts in English, Kiswahili and Kenya Sign Language, while male candidates performed better in mathematics, science, social studies and religious education.
Direct examination administration.
Of the 1.2 million candidates who sat for the exam, 620,965 were boys, while 612,887 were girls. In what the CS said is a clear indication gender parity has been achieved at primary school level.
The number of candidates who sat the examination in hospitals in 2022 was 147, compared with 166 in 2021. All these candidates will also progress to Form 1. The number of registered candidates who were 12 years and below declined from 33,627, meaning 2.74% in 2021, to 31,494, meaning 2.53% in 2022, indicating that parents and schools are on the right path of enrolling children in school at the right age.
Machogu announced that 9,443 candidates who wrote the exams scored 400 marks and above out of the possible 500, which is 0.77%. Those who scored between 300 to 399 marks were 307,756, which represents 24.94%. More than half of all the candidates, 296,336 candidates, which represents 24.2%, scored between 100 to 199 marks, and those who scored between 1 mark to 99 marks were 724, which represents 0.06%. 39 candidates with special needs scored 400 marks and above, compared with only 2 in 2021.
The first candidate with special needs scored 419 marks more than the top candidate in 2022 who scored in 2021.
The CS noted that although only 252 candidates in 9 examination centers were found to have engaged in malpractices, they will still transition to secondary school in the spirit of 100% transition policy.
Candidates have been scored 0 in the subjects where they engaged in such malpractices. Nonetheless, the affected candidates' overall mark will be computed as the mark awarded in the affected subject. The candidates will receive their examination results and will transition to secondary school. This is in the spirit of the 100% transition policy.
According to Machogu, Form 1 selection will be concluded on January 16, 2023. The much-awaited announcement was met with mixed reactions after the CS failed to name the top candidates as expected. The results are Machogu's first to announce as the CS, following former CS George Makokha, whose term in office ended with exit of President Uhuru Kenyatta. After the release of the 2022 KCPE results, candidates who sat for this exam are now waiting eagerly to know which schools they will be selected to join Form 1. For Hope TV News Watch at Mtiani House in Nairobi, I'm Alice Diana.